You're listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for supporting The Coffee Hour. Find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu.
Live uncommon.
Today, we're going to learn about a scholarship opportunity and opportunities for young investors with our friends at Lutheran Church Extension Fund. Joining us in studio, Rehema Kavugha, Director of Synod Relations. Rehema, welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here.
For our listeners who might not be familiar with the LCEF work, what is that work today?
Yeah, so LCEF, Lutheran Church Extension Fund, been around for over 40 years. We serve the church through investments, loans, ministry solutions, and real estate, all under this umbrella of answering where is God leading you as an individual, your church, school, or organization in ministry, and how we can support that financially. So it's a great time to be alive in the church. Things are great. We're so excited. We've seen just a huge increase in loans as churches try to reimagine their ministry and reach out to their communities, as well as our church workers. We do a lot with their mortgages. That's been awesome as they adventure out to their first call or are thinking about refinancing after their third or fourth call or entering into retirement. So it's been so fun. And of course, our investors, which we are so grateful for, who are not only church workers, but they are people who care about the mission. And so they support us as an investor.
And there are young investors as well with LCEF. What are some ways that families get involved with this, that families can invest with LCEF?
Yeah, that's great. In the church, we often use the phrase stewardship. And so as we think about that phrase or that word of our finances, it's important to teach that it's all tied together. A way that we can give back to God is through our gifts, time, talent, and treasure. And so through our treasures, we want to teach the young people of our church that it's important to start saving not only for their future, but again, for the future of the church. And so we have a lot of parents and grandparents that like to put in their daughter's or son or granddaughter or grandson as a young investor, which is an a program that they can do as young as 6 months old.
I think that our son started probably around 6 months old. I think that's when our son started as a member of the YI Club.
Yeah, it's a lot of birthday, Christmas, or even like a baptism, a remembrance that someone will want to start that for them. So that's great. And they can do it all the way until they're 18. And then they're able to take that and become their own investor. So as a young investor, parents are listed as guardians to protect them. And then they get to be their own investor once they're 18 and have aged out of that program.
So there's a lot that a kid can learn in that time. What are some of the aspects or the parts of the Young Investors Club that kids might engage with?
Yeah, so one of the things is actually teaching, and it's really a partnership between the child and their parents because they get an actual bank statement, that shows them what they're doing. And so that's something that you can use with your son or daughter, grandson, granddaughter to talk about investments, and they can actually see that grow and what they're doing. And then we have some additional ways that they can be incentivized, for lack of a better term, towards that. So in the elementary years, they can use their good grades to earn them more money. And I know parents often use that as a way, if you do all your chores, you'll get a little bit more. And so that is one of the things they can do. So once a year, they're able to submit those grades for additional funds. And then in the high school level, we do it for service hours, which most high schools across the country require those anyway. So they get to do service hours and kill two birds with one stone, to fulfill their work for their school, but also get some extra money for doing it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So what does this Young Investors Club, what does this do for kids? What does this teach kids and families as well?
Yeah, so it teaches them, first of all, to save, as we know, but to save for, what to save for. So they're able to set some goals for themselves. And so as I've met young investors, which is always really fun to meet a young investor or talking to their parents, many of them share that they save up for certain Christmas gifts that they maybe want that's kind of outside of Santa's list. But as they're getting older, especially, you will see a lot of them are using it towards college. So ultimately, we have some of our young investors who say that through the money that I started saving or that my parents and grandparents kind of poured into that account, I was able to pay at least for all of my books through college, which is just an exorbitant amount when you think about 4 years of college, especially if you're like a science major or something like that, where you need all the chemistry and books of the world. It again gives that opportunity. We have a lot of congregations that participate in it too, as through their Sunday school program. So through Sunday school attendance, they're able to receive dollars and cents for coming. And so there's some educational pieces that tie into that. And we've really been encouraging those congregations that as they participate in that way, that does spill into their stewardship themed, maybe sermons or whatever they're doing, to not forget the young people as well. And so starting to teach them that they can tithe and how to do that. Many of them do that through that account. And again, once they hit high school, they're actually able to access it like our adult investors through the mobile app and look online. And so it's live and active at all times. So again, teaching good financial education.
And speaking of high school students, there is an opportunity for high school students who are in the Young Investors Club, those who are graduating this year, right?
Yes, that's correct. So if anyone, every year we do what is known as the Take Heart Scholarship. So to be eligible for that, it's any of our young investors between the ages of 16 and 18 who are graduating and will be entering into a higher vocation, whether it's a technical school or 4-year college, or for some, they're doing some study abroad programs as well. And so they are able to apply for 3 awards. We have them at $3,000, $1,000, and $500. So we offer that every year, and it's a great opportunity to say thanks and give them a little extra change in their account as they go off to ventures new.
That's more than change.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a helpful amount for college students. What are the stipulations for applying? What do kids need to know if they're looking at this?
Yeah. So what they need to know is that they need to be a young investor. So they can't open an account just to apply for this. So they have been in the program. And so we can see that. And so they can go online to do that at lcef.org/takeheart. And they have to do an essay, an application. It asks just a few questions, but then they will attach an essay based off of various topics. And year after year, we have them reflect on a question and answer that. It always integrates their faith into that and how they're going to live that out in this new chapter of their lives. So they submit that. Those are reviewed, and winners are announced from there.
This year's question I see is about vocation.
Correct.
Wow. That's a great writing prompt.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that students who are YI investors, young investors, so maybe you're not a junior or senior this year, maybe you're not a senior this year, but this is a good year to join young investors, right?
Correct. It's always a good time to enjoy. It's one of our best rates actually for that account. And again, it's a great way to get their foot in the door. And then when they turn 18, they can get the big account, and right. Continue to save and grow. So yes, you can open it at any time, and we want to encourage you to do so. And I feel like it's a great alternative because the students today get a lot of things just right at their fingertips. So if a mom or dad is thinking, what's something else that I can give them that doesn't have to stay in the house? This is a great way. And again, it teaches them to save.
I was just thinking for those students who might be in middle school or younger too, but middle school, who might be thinking about college. Now's the time to become a young investor because you've been doing the scholarship for a while, right?
Yeah, we've been doing this since 2017. So it's been going for a while, and we hope the plan is to keep going. And so the program itself has been around for much longer. And so this scholarship was just a newer thing for LCEF, but we're excited for that opportunity. So yeah, no matter the age, I think it's important to do it. And yes, it's always great to get more money. But again, just that act of teaching your son or daughter, granddaughter or grandson how to save that money and put it in a place. And what's neat is, you can share with them some of our interest time stories, or through online, we share a lot of our stories. And it's cool as a, 7-year-old, you could really say like, I helped this ministry grow, and you're only 7 years old. But that's the connection. So it's even their investments that help change, and they are the future of the church. And so we want them to be a part of it as soon as possible.
Now you mentioned children or grandchildren, maybe nieces, nephews,
I was
or
going to say,
godchildren?
I have a niece, and so that's what she got for Christmas because she had hit that 6-month thing. So she got that for Christmas, and I'm just going to be putting into it all the time because she gets spoiled already by her grandparents. So they provide all the toys. I'm putting it in savings for her, and so she's going to get the whole package deal. So yeah, it's a great gift for anybody.
That's what I was just thinking. Sarah's got a few nieces and nephews.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
several.
Mhm, mhm. Yep. Yes.
I was actually thinking the same thing, though.
Well, how can we learn more about the Take Heart Scholarship and Young Investors?
Yeah, so you can learn more by visiting lcef.org/takeheart if you want to learn more about the scholarship itself. But you can always learn more about the YI program by visiting lcef.org/YI or Young Investors. Or you can give us a call at our 800 number anytime. Or if you're actually online, if you haven't been online to lcef.org in a while, we actually have a live chat feature. So you can chat with one of our customer relations specialists and they can answer those questions for you. And even most recently, we just launched an online application. So you can actually go on and open this account online. Takes about 10 minutes, which is awesome.
I noticed that. I was looking at the Take Heart Scholarship and the Contact Us like chat popped right up as I was looking at that.
Yeah.
Very good. LCEF.org. And you can find more information there by going to lcef.org/takeheart if you want to find out about the scholarship, or you can find more information about young investors in the investment section as well. Thanks so much, Rehema, for spending time with us on the Coffee Hour.
Great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.